Okay, hello everybody and good morning. I'd like to welcome you all here and thank you for joining us today on the 115th International Women's Day. So we're here to celebrate the strength, courage and achievements of women everywhere. And we've put together a panel of inspiring Hertsmere women to learn about their experiences, challenges and success in their fields. I hope you learn from their experiences and take inspiration from them. I will pass you back to myself. So I'm the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Mia Handley. Just want to do a little quick bit of housekeeping to let you know that the fire exits, there's one here and there's one over there. If for any reason the fire alarm does go off, we are to meet at the roundabout by the car park. And I think that's it for that. And we are going to now introduce you to Amanda from 22 and hello. Roslyn from Goods for Good. Hi. So my first question for you both would be, who inspired you when you were a child?
Wow, many people, but I suppose from a business point of view and wanting to go out to work, which I always wanted to do, I suppose it would have been my father. Yes, who built his own business very successfully, and I wanted to do that. The school bit got in my way, I think. I wished I could go back. I wished I had paid him more attention, but that's who inspired me, really.
Oh, that's really lovely. That's a lovely thing to say. And how about yourself, Roslyn?
So I was thinking about this, and I don't really. I sort of grew up in a deprived family, so we were very happy children. But it was actually very sort of sheltered life, and I guess really I would say probably one of my school teachers, because as a child I always wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be like you, I wanted to be like her. So I guess that was important, being at school and being inspired at school. I would say that, but I was sort of quite sheltered. I mean, we had, back in those days, and I was born in the 50s, so, we had a TV after a while, but, I wasn't sort of associated with any sort of movie stars or anybody like that, so, yeah, that's my answer.
Nice. So teachers.
Teachers.
I think we can all relate to that, can't we? We've all had a teacher that's inspired us. What advice would you give to girls who really do want to make a difference?
Personally, I would say to any young girl right now, focus on something you want to do. It doesn't matter what you want to do, but you have to have a focus. You have to be driven in one way to see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you start on a journey and you realise that you want to be a pharmacist or you want to work in a shop, so be it. But you have to have a vision and believe in that. And if along the way you move a little in direction and you go another way, at least you're on a journey and you're moving forward. Be positive and don't be influenced by people around you. Believe in yourself.
No, that's a great bit of advice. And yeah, I think believing in yourself is very important for all of us. And how about you, Roslyn?
Yes, I would agree with Amanda, actually, to be focused, not to be distracted by people around you that can sort of push you off the good path. I think it's really important as a child to ask a lot of questions. Ask your parents, ask your relatives, ask your siblings, ask your teachers, a lot of questions. So if something actually interests you, make a point of, I'm going to find out more about that. Go to your library, look on the internet if you're allowed to be on the internet. Be curious. Don't be fobbed off with the wrong answer. And I think also, and I always gave this advice to my children, and even though I came from a deprived family, my mum always used to say to me when I left to go to school, not everyone has the privilege to go out to school. Learn as much as you can, but also reach for the stars. Go for your dream. What is your dream in life? I want to be a film star. It's not actually impossible. I want to be whatever you want to be. want to be an astronaut, you could actually achieve that if you go after your dream.
Thank you. I think that is very important as well, isn't it? That we all have a dream and a goal.
Yeah.
So now I'd like to find out what you are most proud of.
Many things,
Good.
really. The best thing I ever did was have a child.
Oh.
That's the most rewarding thing to relish in their success, to be able to see that your parental guidance has put them on the right track, and then once they get to 5, 6, it's their life. You can just be there to smarten up the edges. I think I am immensely proud of the fact that I didn't pay attention at school. I didn't. And for me, that was one of the things, that is my biggest regret, because I think as a child, if you can pay attention and stop getting involved in swapping stickers and playing truant or doing the things that you shouldn't be doing, chewing gum in class, not listening, if you do pay attention and strive for uni or like myself, work very hard. I left home at the age of 18. I had my first business at 23. This is my second business. Why? Because I had the fire in my belly and the drive that I had a vision. I wanted to sell. I wanted to be with people. I wanted to have a business. And I am immensely, and it's quite hard for me to say this, but I am very proud of myself to have come this far, considering I didn't pay attention at school. So if I could go back retrospectively, I would absolutely say to any child, you can be even more proud of yourself if you do well at school.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant answer, to be proud of yourself.
I am.
I think as women we should all probably be a little bit more prouder of ourselves and what we managed to do.
Because it's an easy lesson and it's hard to do, and there are lots of parts of me that I'm not proud of, but the vision to earn a living, to have things that I've wanted, I've done myself. Nobody's done it for me. And so for that reason, I say, if anybody wants to be inspired by somebody who didn't pay attention and had that fire, that's the inspiration.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. And how about you?
Yes, I'm proud of a lot of things, and I would also agree with Amanda. I'm very proud of my family, my 3 sons, all grown up. In fact, my eldest son is going to be 50 in a few days' time, and that's, wow, I'm a mother of a 50-year-old. That's just unbelievable for me. I can't actually digest that well. But I'm very proud of them and their career paths. And interestingly enough, they're all successful. My eldest son didn't go to university till he was 27. But I actually, so he did a master's degree later on in his life. So I always encourage them to go after their dream, and my eldest son sort of is in digital world, and my 2 other sons are in the music business, and they were always passionate about music, and I always gave them encouragement to follow their dreams. The other thing, main thing I'm going to talk about is I'm very proud of the charity that I have set up, Goods for Good, which is basically ensuring that families and individuals have basics that they deserve to live and thrive. So imagine a mum not having money for nappies, or having money for shoes, or for somebody who's homeless on the street not having a comfortable pair of shoes. I grew up, as I said to you, I grew up in a deprived home, and when I was probably 12 or 13, I wanted nice clothes. My parents couldn't afford it, and after a lot of consideration, I thought, well, if they can't buy it, I'll have to buy it myself. And I got myself a job as I was babysitting, earning money. I was also volunteering as well. That's another subject that I'd like to come back to as well, to talk about volunteering. So I'm very proud of Goods for Good. I set it up probably coming up for 12 years ago from across the road here in Boreham Wood, and I lost my job. I was 60, just coming up for my 60th birthday. I'd worked for another London-based international charity, managing a lifeline of humanitarian aid goods, everyday goods for people in need. The focus of that charity was the former Soviet Union. So I've been many times to Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, Romania, etc., etc. I'd seen poverty like you can't imagine. It was actually like travelling back in time. So having been made redundant and not having a job, I sat at my dining room table across the road, very, very near to here, and I was absolutely determined to find a way to continue that lifeline of goods. And I'm really very, very proud of that. And I'm also extremely proud of my team. We are a tiny charity. There's less than a handful of people. There are 3 full-time people, 2 part-time, very part-time people, hundreds of volunteers who help us, and we've delivered, I think it's almost £94 million worth of goods that otherwise would have gone into landfill. So all around the world to 30 countries and 85 charities here in the UK. So I am very proud of that, and
you should be.
And the team.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Must be something. It is. There must be something about a table, because I too was made redundant, and I thought, what am I going to do? So my daughter was stuck in Mexico because of COVID. She flew back on the last flight coming back from Mexico. I opened up a Costco table, and I never looked back. So it must be something about being made redundant and opening up tables. Good for us.
Yeah,
No, that's
power to us.
Yes.
And I think your charity is, I think most people probably know Goods for Good, and it is, even though you said there's a small team of you, you do so much work, and I think it is something to be really, really proud of.
Thank
really
you.
proud of.
And I was saying I think to Amanda before, it's all about collaboration. A lot of charities work in isolation, so they're obviously delivering a service to people. When I started my charity, I was very keen to collaborate and help other charities share information, share knowledge, share resources, and I think that's absolutely key. And probably the same for a small business, that if you're insular, if you're sort of stuck in your own mindset and just want to do this for yourself or this for your business, I think it's, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't succeed. Of course they succeed. I think all charities do a fantastic job. But I do believe in collaboration.
So do I.
In life, generally.
Partnerships. I mean, for 22, we've definitely grown the business without a shadow of a doubt within Hertfordshire. I mean, we work all over the world, but partnering with people promotes your business, it helps your business, and whether you take or you give, it doesn't really matter. But we're here for each other. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Amanda, did you just want to tell us a little bit about 22?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
22, as I say, was started nearly 6 years ago, and my background is all recruitment and sales. And we opened the business, my partner and I, Rachel and I, and being the young side of the business, she was very au fait with the IT and the digital world. And I thought, well, I'm on the business side, so I'm going to carry on doing recruitment. But at the time, furlough was around, COVID had hit, offices were shutting, Brexit had happened, and people weren't recruiting in offices. I thought, well, what can I do? And the marketing side really kicked off, so the recruitment side grew that way. And then slowly but surely it reintegrated within the worlds that we deal with. Heavy networking to grow the business. We've won many awards, one of which was Family Business of the Year, which I am immensely proud of. And Young Entrepreneur, my partner, won. And we have now developed workshops, so we go into businesses to help if there's a bit of toxicity or a bit of sales training or just solely business development. And then we also help businesses grow by opening doors, business development, lead generation, that sort of thing. And then CRM building, digital services, websites, refreshing, branding. We're a people-driven business, so that's what we do around any office.
Okay, so that kind of goes into the next question about what skills you think are important to actually be good at what you do.
Listening is the most important thing you can do. And then not just listening, hearing what somebody has to say. Yeah. It's about people, it's not about you. It's about when 22 is a service-driven business, it's a people-driven business, but to make people listen to you and hearing you, not because you know better, because we don't. No. We don't know better. We learn every day. Every day I learn something new. So I think that's the most important thing you can do, is hear and listen.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you on that one. And skills that you, would you agree with that, listening? And
yeah, I think listening is really important, and being open for other ideas. And I also think that mentorship is very important, being mentored, being helped by somebody. So in life you can't be good at everything. I mean, there's lots of things, even as a charity leader and as the CEO and founder of my charity, there's a lot of things that I'm not good at and I struggle with. So I knew there were certain people that I had to bring into my team, into my charity, into my world, that could help me do that. You know, I'm not great at Excel, I'm not great with figures, I'm improving, there's always time to improve. But to talk to people, because you can't have all the skill sets, you know, so you know, you have a suite of services, you know, where you're covering lots of different sort of services for people. But I'm sure that if there was an area that, well, actually, we're not strong on that, so let's bring somebody in. It's also about this knowing a lot of people through your network, through your circle. And a lot of people say, oh, well, actually, I don't have a big circle. And in fact, I was on a WhatsApp group with a load of charities, and somebody sort of put a thing, a little message up there, oh, we're struggling to find a sponsor. We've put, for a bicycle race, you know, we need somebody to sponsor the T-shirts. We've put an ad out on LinkedIn to look for sponsors. And I said, I sort of thought, well, they're not going to find a sponsor through LinkedIn and just say, oh, will you sponsor us? Because not a lot of people know what you do. And I say, well, who do you know? Why don't you just think, make a list of who do you know, who are your local businesses near where you live, near to where your team members are, who are the people that you can actually reach out in your circle. And when you actually think and make a list, and I like making lists, you know, who do you know? You know, you can often come up with people that you hadn't thought of before.
See, here's the sales side of me. I would think, why not? Try it on LinkedIn. You never know. You just never know. I think the more you throw up, my father used to say, the more you throw 10 things up, one will stick. You just have to keep going. It's tenacity, isn't it? You're very tenacious. Your business, your charity wouldn't be where it is if you hadn't have kept going, you know? And I think, why not try these things?
Yes, I mean, with all respect, I think they had tried LinkedIn. That hadn't happened. So, you know, go back to the drawing board. Never, and also I think don't give up. Don't give up.
No.
You know, I've always thought no doesn't always mean no. No is the beginning, could be the beginning of saying,
yes.
Well, I appreciate what you say, but you know, could you just consider this? You know, don't always take no for an answer.
No is normally a yes anyway.
That's a great bit of advice. That's a great bit of advice. So hardest things you've had to overcome in your industries and your charities and what you've been doing. Something that really sticks out that you've really struggled with and found really hard, but managed managed to push through?
As my lovely husband always says, if it's out of your control, there's nothing you can do. And he's absolutely right. But
I knew there was a but.
There's always a but. But the but for me was that when things happen like furlough, the unprecedented times that we had in COVID, there are ways that you can move around and change in direction. When recruitment dipped in that time, we created workshops, which could be done online. So I'm so tenacious, and when things are not there for the taking, you have to put your hands up, and sometimes I say, I'm going to stand up, turn around and sit back down again because it will look different. You just have to keep going, and the challenges we had, everybody had. No one was different. You might have been in the pharmaceutical world or the charitable world. Yeah. You just have to find a way, move direction, but never give up. Challenges of, you know, in the furlough times, in the COVID times, we had the most successful year.
Oh, wow.
Because we didn't give up, we changed direction, we moved on, we created, and a niche was seen by my partner to work within the website, within the charitable world. The digital side is 75% of our business is within the charitable world. Changing direction, just trying to keep going, never giving up. The challenging times of those times, I think, for me, has been difficult, or, you know, a war, or then, pardon me, or there's been problems with our government, or whichever way we've moved, you have to just have always a plan B. You can't sit still.
Yeah. Plan B, that's a great bit of advice as well. But I think as women, we've normally got a plan B and a plan C somewhere. Yeah. Always got a backup plan. So is there anything that sticks out for yourself that you've...
What have I had to have had to overcome? So I think when I first started the charity, I was lacking in confidence. So I was approached actually by a head of a Dutch charity. I was sort of headhunted when I was made redundant, and the chap came from Amsterdam and approached me and said, I want to help, would love you to set up a charity here in the UK, because he'd seen the work that I'd done with the other charity. So lack of confidence, could I possibly do that? And I asked ex-colleagues what they thought, and that was the way I galvanised the help that I need. I think also shyness. For me, being shy, as a child, I was painfully shy. I was so embarrassed. I used to go red if anybody spoke to me. It was really painful, and I had to work really hard on myself to get over that. And I think once I started the charity and I was less shy, lacking in confidence, working alone was a very difficult space to be in. And as a charity, we had no money to pay anybody. Obviously, I was with a lot of volunteers who gave me a lot of encouragement. And I think that the other thing, which is common for all small charities and medium-sized charities, and that is fundraising. It is really, really hard, though we get things from big companies like Next and Uniqlo and Dune and, you know, shoes and socks and all these things. It costs money to deliver them to people, so, you know, or to get them into your warehouse so you can sort them out. So fundraising has been a big thing, and we're sort of managing, but it's not ideal. So, you know, it's work in progress.
Yeah, I think you've touched on quite a sensitive subject there as well about confidence and shyness, because I think we all suffer from a little bit of that, and imposter syndrome as well sometimes, don't we? Definitely. And I do find that it's important as women to acknowledge that, I think, and try and overcome it, which you obviously have.
Yeah.
You've done very well.
It doesn't have to be a fight.
No.
And I think the world has moved so much in putting women to the forefront, more now than ever. And I think being shy or low self-esteem or being bullied or working for horrible bosses or whatever you've done, it's just trying to rise above it and think of self-worth and think, I've done this, I've got this, I'm going to make this happen. And it's difficult to do day in, day out. Stand up, turn around, sit down, and carry on again. That has always been my mantra, that you can do it. And those things of being a woman, I think we're heard more now. People listen.
Yeah, they do. And I think it's nice as well when you have a group of strong women around you, like you said about your assistant, your partner. It's important to have strong women around you to inspire you and to keep you going and push you forward, really.
But it can be a lonely place, you're right. It can be lonely if you're working in an isolated way. But if you've got good partnerships in Hertfordshire and people holding on and helping and pushing, it's not so lonely.
Yes. And I think that's when we were speaking a little bit about networking.
Yeah.
You know, it's important, I think, even for children, students at home, to sort of get out of your comfort zone, you know, to actually be curious, to find out what's going on in that other school, you know, to find out what other people are doing. And even if that's not your interest or your hobby, actually sort of be curious, find out what other people are doing. You might be only a sports-only sort of person and not sort of somebody that's sort of excited by computers but be curious to find out.
And every student has a voice. Whether you're that quiet, shy person in the corner or you are loud, and you know, you're gregarious and you're not frightened to say anything. How do you know if that person, when they're on their own, doesn't feel the same as somebody shy? I did a workshop recently and I said, that person in the corner might be the next Apple.
Very true.
You know, that person might have the best idea, or could be the next ASOS, the kid that started Gymshark. I mean, you know, we could go on forever, but if you don't like something, speak. Someone will hear you eventually. Being different.
So that kind of leads on to my last question that I'm going to ask you both, which is, if you could learn something new today, what would that be?
Go back to school. 100%. That's what I would do. I would go back and learn, because I have a thirst for learning now. I love the cultures. I love to learn. I learn something new every single day in my job from the youth, from partnering. But
that's interesting.
If I could do one thing, it would be pay attention at school.
Oh, wow. It's never too late.
No, it's never too late.
No, we didn't rehearse this, but mine is similar to Amanda's.
Oh, there we go.
Because I would love to go to university, and
Me
I'm
too.
nearly 72 now, so
Never too late.
never too late. But marketing and digital really excites me. Technology really excites me. AI really excites me. I love it. I absolutely
I'm
love
scared.
it.
Yes, I'm also scared. It scares me.
I love it. You know, and we're entering a new era, and I think it's really important to look at what's happening around, and you know, to be directed when you're thinking about, well, what shall I study at school, at university or at college, you know, to actually be aware of what the trends are, because at the end of the day, the whole point is people need to earn a salary and to be able to support themselves well, so that they're, you know, self-sufficient in life, and you know, to be aware of what the trends are. Obviously, you know, people might decide to do a geography degree because they love geography or history, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, but I think it's really important to be very mindful of what trends are as well.
Having said that, though, the young of today, the educational system, that's the way they've grown up. My grandchildren pick up an iPad that took me a year to learn how to use, you know? So I think it's integrated in their life automatically now. So I think by the time they get to our age, there'll be robots, there'll be something.
So not far away, I've ordered mine.
There you go. So I think that they are integrated in that world, but I think You should come and work in my office because I learn something new every day on IT from my partner.
Yes.
It's fabulous.
Yes, and I think you have to be open
You do.
to learn that. Absolutely.
I think you're both quite right. I think one of my favourite sayings, which probably annoys some of my friends and family, is every day's a school day.
Yes.
Like, we do learn something new
We do.
every day, and I think it's important to hold on to that fact, because you think, like, what I've learned today, what can I learn tomorrow?
Yes.
Like, what can I achieve tomorrow? What can I learn? What can be better for me tomorrow? So yeah, that's great. Right, thank you both very much. I'm going to see if there would be anybody else that would like to ask any questions. Does anyone have a question for either Amanda or Rosalind?
Ooh.
No? Okay. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you. Oh God, sorry. I won't lean forward. I think women often get, when they're at the top of things, they get stereotyped quite negatively. I feel like I've grown up with kind of jokes about female bosses and kind of that women can be quite harsh at the top. Have both of you come across this stereotype, and if so, how have you dealt with it?
Absolutely. I love your question. It's a control thing. It's a power thing. It's almost a form of bullying that I had. And I can honestly say that's their insecurity. That's their problem, not yours, because it made them feel better to put you down. That's a question of not hearing what your employee is saying, but you have to listen to what they've got to say. But it doesn't work like that in life now. I don't think women are much more charming. They're much more, aren't we? We're much more into well-being and go and have your hair done, and we want you to be happy. And it's not happy clappy, but it has changed dramatically because we've had to fight for our position, and we hold our position well. And I believe women are much more respected in business now, but not in a bullying, you do as I say type of way. I think we are fully respected now. There are going to be some that you're going to come across, but in my opinion, I think things have shifted.
Yeah, I think things have shifted, but I think in the corporate world, if you look at sort of banking and, in particular, because I came across somebody from that female from that world who had to fight for her own survival through coming up through a lot of male sort of colleagues, and had to fight for her corner, and she sort of became sort of very defensive, and she took on a sort of different persona, and it was sort of almost like she was in survival mode after having been in that industry for many years. And I don't think anyone had ever sort of called her in, and I think this is another thing. I think in life, when you're up against somebody who's behaving badly, why should we actually be quiet? Because there is a way to find the confidence to actually address that subject, and they may not be aware of what they're doing to the people around them.
There's one more
calling
here,
out
is communication.
Yeah.
If you're not listening and you're not communicating how you're feeling, or they're not telling you because they are in their bubble and that's their way or the highway, there's no communication going here. So I think it's, as I say, it's having a voice and saying, just a minute, that woman was allowing herself to behave that way, and people around her were obviously in awe and scared that they were going to lose their job. Whereas today in employment and in the law, you have the right to hear, to listen, to have a, what do they call it, not an investigation, to have a discussion, I suppose, and hear both sides. You're not going to get fired for being honest. And if she's a bully, then there is the problem. That's the toxicity. She needs to go.
Yeah.
Communication.
Does anybody else have a question? Oh,
Lovely.
Only man in the room. As female leaders, how important is it to inspire people, and how do you do it?
How important is it to inspire people? I think it's very important to inspire people and to bring them on side, and for you to be a believable person, for you to be authentic person. And how do you bring them on side? It's purely by example. It's by setting a precedent, setting an example. Don't ask people to do what you wouldn't do yourself. I think that's really for me, that's just a simple model. What about you, Amanda? What do you think?
I'm going to go back to this word I used before, communication. So I think to be inspiring for someone else is to say to somebody, this is how I would do it. How would you do it? And then finding the happy ground in the two. So not making them feel small, not saying this is what you're going to do, but if I was in your position, try this. If it doesn't work, try it. You know, it's hearing, I keep saying it, but it's listening to two people having a conversation, and then they walk away and they put it into practice and they think, oh, that really worked. That's just because of experience. It doesn't mean that my way was the right way or your way was the right way. You just have to inspire to say, I tried this, and being, you used the word before, a mentor. I love that word, because a mentor is somebody that you can look up to and you think, what they've done, they've really done very well. I'm going to pinch some of that, and I'm going to take a bit of this and I'm going to take a bit of that, and then make it my own. And I think that in itself is inspiring. That's what I would give as an answer.
Yeah, thank you, James. Does anybody else like to ask a question? Thank you.
Hi, the council is doing a lot of activities but where to find the details? And there are so many women who are shy and unable to approach. So is this a confidential or?
Sorry, say that one again.
No, what I'm saying is HBC council is doing a lot of activities, right? So there are, how to know the details? Where is it being published? Is there any department for the woman to reach them? So is the information is confidential or it's been discussed among the departments?
Can we answer that question? No.
Can I hop on
Yeah. Thank you.
that? My button doesn't work.
Yeah, you can use this.
Sorry, I've got loud voice. I think you were saying that. Is there a particular department within the council? Confidential conversations with women. But actually that kind of extends to the workplace as well. So, pop on your question, is there some way in Hertsmere Council, or maybe at county level council, or even local organisations where women can share those, voice concerns or have those conversations to say, perhaps I am feeling a bit shy, perhaps I'm not confident as a new business leader.
So I think
Would that fall under an HR policy process? Would it fall under?
Yeah, so I think for us here, that would fall under HR, which I should imagine would be the same for yourselves.
It would. I mean, we work with a lot of HR policy people, and they work under different umbrellas. So you can employment law or discrimination or non-inclusivity. Those tend to be policy-driven HR functions and departments, I would say, but I don't know how it is in the council.
No.
You can ask the question.
Yeah.
Ask HR if you have an issue or something. You send an email, ask the question. Hear what they have to say. They'll point you in the right direction.
I am HR by profession. That's the reason I'm asking this question. And also I wanted to know how public need to reach the council on this one.
How public?
Yeah.
So are these questions are kind of aimed at the council and not necessarily at Goods for Goods or 22?
Okay. I'm not asking. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can answer some of those afterwards, because we're all going to go to the committee rooms after. Yeah, maybe we can have those discussions when we have refreshments.
I think also, just to interrupt, that most employers have a handbook. So if you have any grievances or concerns or worries, it should be in an employer's handbook as to who you can go to if you have issues.
Or people in development,
Yeah.
they'll help you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Victoria?
Both of you obviously have a really strong work ethic. Do you think that's something that people are born with, or that you kind of get through circumstances? Or
Can I
Good, please.
Yeah. Just eager to. So I think, as far as my own personal experience is concerned, I really learnt work ethic, because it's like at school you don't necessarily know how to study. People assume that when you're away from school that you know how to apply yourself and how to focus and sort of zoom down in on your. So I learned it as I got older by example, basically, from and not from my home, because although I was one of 4, nobody was sort of working hard, particularly at school, so I didn't have any role model at home, but certainly friends, close friends, that I used to go and do my homework with other people. I mean, I didn't even have a desk at home. I didn't have my own space to do homework, so I often used to go and study with friends. So I think I learnt work ethic and how to apply myself and how to focus, again, come back to the sort of focus and concentrate, because I mean, a lot of people have the sort of all sorts of distraction labels, you know, that they're not able to focus. So I think also you have to be aware, if you're the sort of person, I'm having an issue on focusing on my work or my assignment, it sort of actually flags up if you can't sit still to do it, and you need to sort of reach out and tell somebody. But I actually learned it as I got older, it got better.
Yeah.
I think my work ethic came from my parents. I had very hard-working parents. Not only that, we were brought up, my brother, my sister and I, to, if you want something in life, you earn it. We all had Saturday jobs. We worked hard. I believe I was born with it. However, I feel sorry for the young generation today, because I then went out to work at 17 years old, and I was put into an office and I watched and I learnt, stood by a photocopier. They wouldn't even know what that is now. We watched, we learnt, and I had mentors all my working life by being in an office. Then that was taken away from kids today. So my suggestion for young people today, if you're not born with that entrepreneurial gut, you either learn it or go and get jobs. Go and get up at 6 and do a milk round, or go and deliver papers, or work in a deli. It doesn't matter what you do, just do something, because it's people that you'll get that work ethic from. If you're going to be a lazy bum, or, you know, we used to have to get up in the morning, go on the bus, go to work, get back on the bus and come home again. We didn't have money. Where did we get that work ethic? From ourselves.
Yeah.
So you're either born with it or you can learn it. Or then there's in the middle that can't be bothered, which is a shame, because they could go this way or that way.
And can I just add to that, Amanda, because a lot of people struggle nowadays to get a job. So where can you learn that work ethic if you can't get it from home? And
Volunteer.
Gives me a wonderful segue into talking about volunteering, because so I started my volunteering journey when I was 13 at school. There was a volunteering programme. I went to school in Camden, and Camden Council had a programme called Task Force, and I used to go and visit elderly people and take deprived children on outings with the council members and with a lot of other adult volunteers. So they mobilised school children to do this, and I suddenly found myself a school representative, going to other schools to, representing my school, and I don't recall how that happened, because I was this really, really shy, red-faced little girl, and it was painful for me, but I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. I would say volunteering is amazing. So whatever is your passion, whether you like babies, children, or sport, there's always, you can always find somebody, you know, a charity near to your home that you could volunteer. And if you can't find something, then organise something yourself, you know, bake some fairy cakes and raise some money for a charity, and then decide later with your parents, or, you know, find a local charity that
Or work
needs
for
it.
Goods for Good.
Or volunteer for Goods for Good.
There you
yes.
go.
Shall I let you know what we need? You know, so there's so many worthy causes, and so many charities that are desperate for volunteers of all ages, doing all sorts of things. So, you know,
There comes your work ethic.
but yeah, that's right. So if you can't find that job, and I tell people approach me who are desperate for work. The work, you know, unemployment is high, even for professional people. So you can have very qualified men and women who've been looking for jobs in marketing or in IT or sort of digital space, and the competition, especially with AI now, the competition is rife, so it's really difficult. And I tell people, you need a job to get a job. Don't have a blank on your CV. You've got these skills, you're great at marketing. Ring up your some local charities, find a charity and offer your services free of charge. Put that you're volunteering for a charity on your CV, and then you'll get a job.
And it's to keep this going.
Yes.
You know, if you sit still and do nothing, then you're going to think of nothing and you're not going to be anything. You've got to aspire to something, even if it is packing boxes. You can meet someone who might say, you're looking for a job, there you go. Or do you want to come to a football event? We've got a charity event, that kid loves sport.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just do something.
And that's the great thing with volunteering as well,
Isn't
is that
it?
you don't know what doors it's going to open and what people you're going to meet.
Exactly.
And there's volunteering there's such a big it's such a big umbrella, because there's so many things you can do to volunteer that people probably don't
Even know.
realise. You know,
Yeah,
museums, libraries, being outside, animals, children. There's so many different things.
Homeless.
Yeah, definitely. Would anybody else like to ask a question? No? Okay. So, do we have... Is it time for... I think we have some little awards to give out.
Oh.
So we're going to say a big thank you to Rosalind from Goods for Goods, and a big thank you to Amanda
Pleasure.
from 22
Pleasure.
for their time and their knowledge today.
Really enjoyed it, thank you.
No, it's really lovely to have you both here, and I think you've all given us some food for thought to take home with us, and it's just nice being around inspiring women. And I think that being around inspiring women inspires yourself. It makes you want to go out and do better, and even if you're just doing better for yourself.
That's the whole point, is feeling good about yourself, and then you will do better at work.
Yeah.
Or in life as well.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay, thank you.
Sophie's just recognising their inspiring hearts.
So Rosalind, I'm going to present this to you.
Oh, lovely.
It's a
Thank you.
certificate, as you are an inspiring woman from Hartsmere.
Oh, thank you so much, thank you.
If I pass that to you, and I think Mr. Mayor is going to give you one.
Thank you so very much. Shall I come round?
Yeah, thanks, Madam Deputy. First of all, I would like to say hi to every one of you, and congratulations on the occasion of Women's Day. I'm so pleased to be a part of it, although I'm a man. But it's a woman who birthed me. You know, if it had not been for a woman, I would not have been here. She birthed me. And that's the first port of call, a woman, and then when a child is born, his mother is there. But in the meantime, ma'am, can I invite you over?
Thank you.
Mrs. Hirschman.
It is.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so very
Yeah, I
much.
wish you well, and
Thank you very, very much.
you have been recognized by Harsmeer.
I'm delighted. Thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Should we hold, bring the awards?
Even though you're a man.
Speakers in the middle.
Should we go to this?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your mum did a good job then.
Of course she did.
So just want to thank you all for being here today, and thanks again to Roslyn and Amanda. And we are going to go into one of the committee rooms now for some refreshments, and you're all welcome to come along and we can carry on the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Where shall I put my cup of tea?
Thank you, well done.
Did children log on?
Well, we know there were people logged on.
Amazing.
One of them was a school, that's at least
That's a bonus.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
yes.
I hope so.